You're listening to the Snyder-Collin Podcast, presented by FPP Broadcasting. This week's episode, brought to you by AMC Theaters.
Free popcorn!
President. Oh, man. Yeah. As you can see what I'm on today, just like we on every other day, go get it. Get to the bag music, Cool Kid Trap music type shit, I'm a rare individual, cut off your hand if it's killing you. You gotta stand on your tippy don't take. I got cool like I'm Pooty. She give me tame, then I sleep on her booty. Bought me an out, turn that bitch to a cutie. I'm flying, I elevate. I got problems, an open case. My little bro got his first baby on the way. In the trap, so you know we'll be on the date.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Snyder-Collin Podcast.
Brought to you by FPP Broadcasting. This week's episode is brought
Shut
to you
the
by...
fuck up. We've already done it.
Yes.
We're here. Is your mic good? I didn't even ask.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine.
It's a little lopsided. Are you okay with that? Being like that?
I'm sure I can just...
Do you want me to... Oh my god.
Whoa! Yeah, this is good.
Wow, that's perfect.
Alright, sorry everyone.
It's fine. Who cares? Who honestly cares? Alrighty, well...
I'm Collin Goody.
I'm Jacob Snyder. Where can we find...
Where can we find you at?
yeah.
we're-
That's for later. You have to stay for the whole show to listen to that.
Yeah, if you want to know where to find us.
Who does, really?
I'm empty. We're here to talk about Star Trek Discovery, the latest episode. We're a
Yep.
Star Trek podcast now.
Yeah,
So
we're...
Trekkies.
Mm-hmm, yep. We love product.
We love the series. We love how
Yes.
the Star Trek series evolves.
Yes. What's your favorite Star Trek movie? Excluding everyone other than Into Darkness.
Excluding the only ones that I've seen,
Yes.
which are the J.J. Abrams ones.
Yes.
Oh wow, I saw Star Trek Nemesis back when it was like first released. I watched it at my
Isn't that
neighbor's house.
Isn't that a good one?
I don't remember anything about it. It's
So
the
it's
last.
good.
It's the last Star Trek: The Next Generation thing like we ever got.
Oh.
The fans, the
Yes.
series.
Well, we are fans because we are now a Star Trek podcast.
Star Trek Nemesis. It's noted for being really action packed for Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
And it also has an early performance by Tom Hardy in it.
That's right. He plays a young Picard.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He plays like maybe some sort of evil version of Picard. I don't remember anything about that movie at all.
Weird.
I only remember watching it at my neighbor's house because it was like a new like big movie.
Yeah.
And that was the last like old school Star Trek that was ever released.
Hmm.
And then it was, J.J. Abrams.
Yes. The man who saved Star Trek.
Did you like Into Darkness? I know that one's
No, I didn't like Into Darkness, but I do like Beyond. Star Trek Beyond is pretty good.
I just put Beyond on in the background because it was on Hulu.
Yeah.
I think I was packing for a trip.
It's a lot of
and
fun. It's a fun
just,
movie.
I just had it on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you drink that water. Yeah, you do it.
All right, that's enough about lame Star Trek.
Yep.
That's not what the talk of the universe is
Yeah,
right
no.
now.
Obviously, we're here to talk about Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Yeah.
But first,
But before that we do that.
it is 1 week before Christmas as we are recording this,
Yes.
and we've already, I don't want to spoil the time paradox.
No. Anyway.
We're going to exchange gifts.
Yep.
I did not wrap Jacob's gifts. I wrapped them within me. They are in my jacket.
Yes.
So
and
I
I didn't wrap Colin's gift. I got him one gift. He got me two for some reason. Guaranteed that you spent 4 times as much money as what I spent on this.
Perhaps. One of these I bought in a store. One of them is just something that already belonged to me. And I'm passing it down to you.
I spent $5 on this.
I spent $8.
Oh my god.
You're a real fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm a real dickhead. But I honestly, I just saw it and I knew you had to have this.
It's wrapped in like a dirty old moldy wet towel.
Yes. I actually just found it. I went under my house and I found a towel, and I was like, I don't know how this got here, but it's probably diseased. So I wrapped it in that.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. It's the thought that counts.
All right, so Jacob, go ahead and close your eyes.
All right, they're closed.
Let me just undo my...
Oh wow, that sounds so great on a podcast.
I am.
That's amazing.
I am exposing my nipples.
Yes.
All right, keep them closed.
They are closed.
All right, now hold out your hands.
Okay. I'm afraid.
All right, that's just my hand.
All right, fair enough.
All right, now, all right, all right. Here's your first gift.
Okay.
All right, I'm letting go.
Okay.
All right, you may open your eyes.
Oh wow.
Go ahead and
That's
tell.
amazing.
Go. This is the one that I purchased.
That's great.
Go ahead and tell the audience what it is you are holding in your hands.
Wow, it's a Star Wars Power of the Jedi, I guess brand or series Qui-Gon Jinn, action figure,
complete in box.
Yeah, in the box. So I'm never taking it out of the box.
Yes, it would lose all its astronomical value.
Yes, complete with his green lightsaber. Arguably with the kyber crystal that belongs to Luke later inside.
Ooh,
Yes.
I'd say you're right on the money with that.
Thank you. Wow. And it says Jedi training gear. This must be pre-Phantom Menace, is what I'll guess. Wow, that's fantastic. And it's it's number
wondering.
1. It's it's the first in its series.
That's
amazing.
I'm
Collin.
not sure where this series comes in. I mean, it's certainly prequel era. And you know what? I've heard people say that, like, okay, say what you will about the prequels, the toys were way better than what we're getting now.
Yeah.
So if you look at the little figure, like, it's a pretty, like...
Yeah,
like
it's really high quality,
yeah.
actually, yeah.
It's a decent...
That's amazing.
It's a decent action figure. I have no clue if it came out before or after the Phantom Menace. If you flip the box over, you can actually read the card that is in with the box. See, they knew what they were doing. They knew that they wanted to keep them in box. Why don't you go ahead and read about your Liam Neeson action figure?
Oh, I will. Qui-Gon Jinn is a Jedi devoted to maintaining order and justice in the galaxy. He, like most Jedi, feels like it is his duty to pass on what he has learned to the next generation of Jedi. He does so by taking a Padawan to mentor. I imagine that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Holy fuck, that was really picking it up.
This is the best water I've ever had in my life.
That's awesome.
I'm glad it's making, like, delicious noises, because this water is, like, hitting the spot.
Good. Qui-Gon often wears his Jedi training gear for protection when sparring with his trainee, sorry. He's a human, he is 1.93 meters high, and his homeworld is unknown.
Still?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, that's weird.
So yeah, I saw that. I got that in an antique shop in Jacksonville, and I was like, Jacob will like this.
That's awesome. Actually, I got your gift in an antique shop as well.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
All right.
You might. I don't know. That's awesome though. Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I have one more gift for you.
Okay. Do you want me to close my eyes for this one as well?
Yes.
Okay. Closing them now.
Let me.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. All right. Hold out your hands. You may open.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing, man.
It is
2001.
Yeah, it's a DVD copy of 2001, but it's no ordinary copy.
Okay.
That is the copy that belonged to the movie gallery.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so I'm holding like a relic of movie gallery history in my hand?
Yes, you are.
Holy shit, Collin. Dude, this is a great gift.
Yeah, if you look at it, it has the movie gallery label sticker on the front.
Yeah, I see that.
And the case is odd, so if you open it up, the disc should be in there.
Yeah, it is.
Does it
say,
my
gosh.
Does it have like movie gallery plastered on it somewhere or no?
No, it doesn't, but the inside of it is very movie gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. This is so hilarious.
It's a relic.
This is a relic. This is a relic to like movie rental places that don't exist anymore. It's really nice.
And it's fucking dude, that's a fucking old ass DVD.
It is.
Like that's probably from like the latest of the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Like 99, dude. There's a chance that DVD's as old as you are.
You're right. That's amazing, dude. Thank you. That's a great.
Because obviously,
this is amazing.
I have the Blu-ray, so I was like, what else? You know, I'll give them this. So it's a very unique copy.
How did you get your hands on this?
When Movie Gallery was going out of business.
Oh, you just bought it from them?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It might have been the one on Thomasville.
Oh, yeah.
That's now a mattress store. I can't remember if it was from that one or the one up the road from where we are right now. I think that one was on the Thomasville location, though.
Okay.
If I were to put money on it.
This is an amazing gift, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My gift is such a piece of shit compared to yours.
I'm glad you enjoy your gifts.
This is awesome. Yeah, you're not going to enjoy yours. You're going to hate it a lot. But
oh boy,
it is what it is.
Is it time for me to open up mine?
It is. I will do the same thing for you. Close your eyes.
Okay.
All right.
Eyes are closed. Oh, I don't get to unwrap the towel?
No, you don't. I'm
Damn.
sorry. Well, do you? I mean, you know what? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you do get to unwrap the towel. I'll hand you the towel. All right. It's wrapped up. You get to unwrap this thing. All right, here you go.
Oh, okay.
You need to watch yourself unwrap this.
Okay.
You need to watch as it is revealed what this is.
Before I unwrap this, I want
Yes.
to bring up that Drew just sent me like the most hilarious text message regarding this Christmas party that we're going to tonight.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show it to you.
Okay. Oh my god. That's amazing. That's great. We can't say that on there, but that's awesome.
Hopefully Drew is listening to this because he'll get it. He'll remember.
Yeah, is Drew in town?
No.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. All right, so I'm now unwrapping.
Yes, it is.
What could this possibly be? Is it the towel itself? There's nothing in the towel?
It is not the towel itself. You
All
can
right.
have the towel if you so desire.
All right, I'm slowly peeling back layer by layer.
Yes, this towel.
Oh god.
The slower, the better this will
My heart's
end for you.
beating faster. Oh god.
Good.
Look at this. Look at this. Is it a mug?
No.
Is it like a
It's the worst thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
There's a reeking odor coming from within the towel. I
Oh
think.
my god.
Oh. Oh god, this is
I don't even know how it's so... This is so confusing now. I don't know where you are in this towel. Maybe it disappeared within the towel.
Oh my god. Is this young Annie?
Yes, it is.
It's Annie.
It's a cup topper. Isn't that a great shelf thing? That's a great shelf thing.
This is actually really cool. It's a cup topper for
yeah,
what?
looking like like a straw could go in it or something, and it could go on the top of a cup. You can look in the back of Annie's neck. There's a straw hole for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
This is Annie from The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Hilariously enough, we both got each other like
Star Wars things. Yeah.
prequel era merchandise.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is. This is cool. I like this.
I'm glad you do.
It's a good little put it on the desk. There
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious.
It's specifically Anakin when he's in his pod racer and he
Yes.
has his helmet on. He's holding like the gear clutches in each hand and he's like ready to like fly. Little does he know he has like this like horrible darkness and hatred inside of him.
Yeah, little does he know he's gonna probably murder all of the Jedi in the galaxy.
Several younglings.
Yeah. It's a dark toy. It holds a lot of
darkness.
yes,
And affliction
something darker.
inside of it.
Yes.
No, dude, this is cool. I
All
like
right.
this.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah,
I'm glad you do.
I like stuff like this.
I'm glad. See, I kind of
I'll
thought
just-
like it might be a nice like Blu-ray shelf thing
Yeah, exactly.
for you to have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like
But
it a lot.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, I have to get Collin this because if I don't, then what else am I gonna do with my life? But yeah, and you can have the towel.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Oh man. So all right. Well, Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas, Snyder.
Thanks, buddy. Well, on the note of Star Wars,
Yes.
boy, what are we gonna? This Last Jedi film. Well,
It's been divisive.
to say the least, yeah. A lot of people are not a fan of how this movie turned out.
Yeah. Which
They're mad. which I guess they have a right to be, sorta.
I think it's a good thing.
It is. It is a good thing. You're right.
I think it is a good thing that movies are coming out and people aren't just like blindly loving it. I mean, the same thing happened with The Force Awakens. There was a backlash pretty much like immediately.
I would say no.
No, you
The
don't
Force
think so?
Awakens, everybody pretty much loved it. Automatically. Everyone did. There were a couple people who were like, oh, it's a rehash. With this one, it is immediate. It is, because for a minute there, it was really cool to like The Force Awakens, and then it was cool to hate on it. And the truth is, The Force Awakens was good. You know? It was good. It was a good movie. You don't have to hate on it to be cool. This one, no time has passed. It came out, people hated it. People were angry.
It's been divisive.
Yes. I would say that the Star Wars fanboys are fucking pissed.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. We'll get into why exactly.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why, but I guess we don't need to get into that now.
Yeah, there will be a spoiler section. The spoilers will be in the time codes underneath in the description. No need to worry.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
This is going to be a spoiler heavy.
It will,
review.
but we do have... This is going to be the spoiler-free section. We'll talk a little bit about it in depth.
Okay.
Not in depth, but, go over it for our listeners who have yet to see the film.
All right, so this is all pre-review.
Correct.
And then we're going to talk about the story of seeing it, because it's actually a pretty damn good story.
Yes, it is.
And then we'll go into our spoiler-free review.
Yep.
And then spoiler review. So,
all right. So,
anything you want to discuss about Star Wars The Last Jedi that has nothing to do with your thoughts, just anything. I'll bring up that
lead
it was,
in, because give me an example.
It is number one at the box office, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I tweeted a while back that I knew I was going to be wrong, but I thought this movie was going to make at the box office somewhere between 160 and 175 million. And if it had done 160, that would have been super fucking low.
Yeah.
That would have been a massive drop off. But I was thinking, there's no way it's going to do like 200 million again. Boy, was I wrong. Jacob, if you want to bring it up, I think it did like 210 million. And The Force Awakens did like 240, so it only lost like $30 million, which is basically nothing for these types of movies. $30 million, that's chump change. It's all about like, the hundreds, and like 200 million, like goddamn, people are still extremely invested in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I thought, I just didn't think it would do 200 million again. I thought there was no way. I thought,
yeah,
like there would be some diminishing return.
It brought in an estimated 220.
Oh, 220?
According to Disney,
oh,
yes.
Never mind. That's
yeah.
even more. Like, what, like a 20 million difference?
Yep. It's the second highest opening, second to The Force Awakens.
That's crazy.
It is. The Force Awakens opened with 248 million.
Everyone who basically saw The Force Awakens went and saw The Last Jedi, which makes sense, but it's like, I wasn't expecting that big of a number.
Me neither. What I'm interested to see is if the backlash of it will influence it at all, if it'll make things go off. You don't think so? You don't think it'll turn anybody away?
No.
I think it could if it got big enough.
I think if critics were being divisive over it, critics seem to be pretty, like, positive.
Yeah.
As far as, like, the tomato meter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there was Scott Mantz, so he was a bit ahead of the curve.
It's true, he was.
Scott Mantz tweeted that he liked the movie, but it was not as good as Rogue One in his opinion. He enjoyed Rogue One more.
Yeah, as most true Star Wars fans would.
I think it's interesting, between these three movies, like, all fans are going to have, like, a different way they're ranking them now.
Yeah.
So it's fun to debate, at least for this Star Wars era of films. I don't think it's quite worth, like, ranking them, like, mashing them all together with the originals and the prequels. I feel like you should just do it within each series.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I feel like with
people are going to do it anyways.
Yeah, with each... This is an interesting one because this is actually like a debate so far. Like, where... I don't think really there's much of a debate in the original trilogy. Which one's the best movie? It's Empire Strikes Back. Which one's the worst movie? It's Return of the Jedi. Whereas, like, with the prequels,
Worst as in just not as good.
yeah, not as well-rounded of a film.
Yeah.
You can like one more, but the better film. Revenge of the Sith would be the best in the prequels. Attack of the Clones would be the worst,
Yes.
leaving the Phantom Menace somewhere in the middle.
Or some people still putting Phantom Menace.
Some people would, but they're wrong. Attack of the Clones is the worst movie.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace is a more disappointing film, for sure, absolutely, for its time.
Attack of the Clones is just rough.
It's just a bad movie. Like, it's really awful.
It's really hard to get through.
Yeah, there are redeeming qualities in the Phantom Menace that I could see. Like, the lightsaber fight is really cool. The score is fantastic.
This Anakin Skywalker cup caddy.
The Anakin Skywalker cup topper. It's very, you can find things. Things are positive or to be gleamed.
All right, back to this Phantom Menace cup topper.
Yeah.
Was this part of like a Burger King or something, or like a McDonald's?
I actually haven't researched it at all.
You should. I feel like this was meant for like a very specific cup, part of like some like other franchise, like fast food franchise.
I'm looking up cup topper. Oh my god, I found images of it. Okay, it's Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Wow,
Yep.
now I just need to find the corresponding Taco Bell branded cup.
Yep. Wow. All right. Well, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to find them. Actually, wow. We could make a profit off of this.
Really?
Yes, Amazon is selling them for $8.
Oh, and you spent how much on my Christmas gift?
$5.
Wow, that's profit $3.
Yes, it is. Let me look at oh wow. There are some sealed with the box. I wonder how much this is. Wow. Oh wow. It actually came in like a bag. Like it was like a big deal.
Let me see.
The
Anakin caddy, cup caddy, cup
This
topper.
person's selling it sealed for $25.
Oh man.
This one's for $20. Hold on. Wow, he's selling a bunch of them actually. But yeah,
he has multiple.
Yeah, he has the Padme one. How cool, right?
Wow.
You have something seriously valuable on your hands here.
Look up how much your Qui-Gon is worth.
Yeah, let's look that up real quick. What are some other thoughts on The Last Jedi before we move on to our review?
The Star Wars logo was red instead of yellow.
Oh yeah, that's not in the movie.
Yeah, I mean in the promotional.
Oh yeah,
in the marketing.
Yeah, and they didn't do that.
No,
since Return of the Jedi.
No, I don't think.
Revenge of the Sith.
Return of the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe you're right. Power of the Jedi. Oh wow, there's a lot of these. I think there's an RG-83 one. Star Wars Power of the Jedi. Qui-Gon Jinn and training gear. This is the best. We have the best one. All right. Well, this toy line saw 57 figures being released in the introduction of the concept figure, an idea that was to repeat itself in later collections. Most of these concept figures were based on production sketches from Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace, but were not yet marketed as concept figures. This line revisited several characters released in earlier collections, but also introduced some never-before-released figures from Star Wars: A New Hope.
Dude, what the fuck happened to Constable Zubio?
Who is that?
You don't remember?
No.
When the first line of the Force Awakens toys came out, people were like, cool, Rey, cool, Finn, cool, Kylo Ren. Ah, sick, Constable Zubio.
What?
Yeah, there was a figure for this constable.
Constable Zuvio. Yeah, I'm looking at this now.
Yeah, he was like
oh, whoa, dude, I see this. Whoa, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he looks pretty cool.
I think he was supposed to be on Jakku, and people were like, oh, cool, I got my Constable Zuvio action figure, Black Series. I can't wait to see him in the movie, and then he was never in it.
Yeah, he wasn't. He looks pretty cool, actually.
Maybe that's who Rey's parents. That's Rey's dad. It's the constable.
Maybe. You might be right. Damn, this is really weird.
Yeah, I know.
He looks pretty cool too, though.
Yeah, he's like a strange alien. I'm guessing they shot something with him. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
Me neither. Man, this episode should have been done by Constable Zuvio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. Whoa, that's weird. Anyway, all right, back on track. The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens.
Yeah, notably the Rotten Tomatoes audience score was pretty low.
Yeah, but the cinema score is at an A.
Yeah.
So
That's the more legitimate one, because they ask people who are, like, walking out of the theater. It's not just like, oh, click on the website and vote thumbs up or thumbs down.
yeah,
So I'm guessing, I mean, I don't know, maybe that is an accurate representation, Rotten Tomatoes and their audience scores, and people are really dismissive. I was guessing it was just a bunch of Star Wars fanboys, just like spamming, negative and bad reviews and all that stuff.
yeah. That's what I've heard from too. I heard somebody like hacked it, or like there might have been like bots going on and fucking it up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, just people spamming.
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So, we went and saw this movie on Thursday night at 10:40.
We sure did, and well, everything was going according to plan.
Yes,
we got a picture.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we took a picture. Available nowhere actually. It was available on my Instagram for a bit. So if you saw it, you saw it. If you really want it, I'll email it to you.
I have mine saved to my camera roll, so
Yeah.
I can always upload it to Facebook.
Yeah, fppcreative@gmail.com. Just email me and ask me for the picture. No worries.
We met up with David, or honestly,
We did.
Dav and Lindsay. We were
Yes.
all together to go see it.
Yes, it was going to be an amazing time. We were all thrilled.
We got some Taco Bell
We did.
before.
We
and
did.
In anticipation of the film, and we bumped into some people that you know.
Yeah.
Who
Zach Dillman and Kate Ellis.
And
I
they had
believe
just
Tyler Phillips was there as well.
And they had just seen The Last Jedi.
They
right?
had just seen it, and they told us to go in with an open mind. Fair enough. You should always do that. You know what I mean?
Were they part of the double feature?
Yeah.
So,
They were also with Cole as well, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently instead of The Last Jedi started up, they played Justice League.
Yep.
That's
So they watched The
hilarious.
Force Awakens and 10 minutes of Justice League before watching the rest of the actual movie, Last Jedi.
What a bargain. Did they even play the first 10 minutes of The Last Jedi, or did it just cut into like 10 minutes later?
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
People just being like, oh, how far into the movie are we?
It's the end. Well, we get to the theater after having our Taco Bell. We go, we take our pictures, we get admitted in. We have our tickets already. We go and sit down in the movie theater.
This is the like smallest theater too.
Probably at AMC. Yeah, it's the smallest one.
I got in there and I was kind of like, This is what we're gonna watch Star Wars on. This little dinky screen with like the shittiest like, you know.
I wouldn't have had a problem with it if like there was a good projector, you know, because like it's a small intimate screening. I don't have a problem with that. I actually kind of prefer that.
I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like that wasn't the way to watch this movie.
I mean,
especially in hindsight. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. That's like the type of theater that should just be playing Ferdinand.
Yeah.
You know? But they're just trying to get as many showings for The Last Jedi as possible, so they're just like, use the rinky-dink theater screening too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't entirely agree. I think that I would have had a good time watching it on there. As long as the projector was bright, it looked good. You know, it wasn't like faded out or anything, because like, if it had looked good, I would be okay. I'm sure it has like decent audio. I'm sure it has decent audio quality in there. You know, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Dolby, but who gives a fuck? I don't need Dolby for everything.
Yes.
So we're sitting there, we're waiting, right? We're waiting in the theater.
Yeah, it's very quiet because you can kind of hear everyone talk.
Yeah, and, very quiet, very intimate experience. It's kind of what I was looking forward to too. And
well, we got to talk about the people in the front row.
Yeah. I'm getting there.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't want you to skip over that until you get to the conflict of the story.
Yeah, so the movie starts at 10:40. it had been like, it's like 10:43 or something. They're running behind or whatever. So the people in the front row who walk in full Jedi robes with lightsabers.
Yes,
It's a couple. It's an older couple.
Yeah, like probably like in their late 40s.
Yeah.
Married couple.
Yeah.
Probably been married for like fucking 30 years or
Probably.
some shit.
Yeah. They love each other very much.
Yeah.
Shout out to that couple. They basically, to pass the time for this epic saga, the new installment of this epic saga to premiere, they offer up a lightsaber to somebody in the audience.
The guy just stands up and he's like, all right. He has his green lightsaber on,
Yeah.
like the toy lightsaber, and he's just like, come at me, bro.
Yeah, and
You know,
somebody volunteers and they have a lightsaber fight, and then they fight, they duel, and then I guess at some point there's a winner and a loser, but then they just start talking about their Rey parentage theories, just off to the side. And it was amazing.
I didn't even notice that. Isn't it kind of like, one thing I've noticed, just how like cynical everyone was in that theater.
Everybody was pretty cynical.
Yeah, because like, you know, people were like putting them on like their Snapchat stories, including me. And it's just like, you know, because that's like the part of like part of the fun of going to see Star Wars. I mean, me and Snyder were dressed up in cosplay.
We were both Slave Leia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we dressed up. But just like, you know, just being like, oh, how lame, these nerds playing with their Jedi lightsabers.
I didn't think of it as lame. I just thought, like, look at this ridiculous thing occurring right before my very eyes. Like, this is hilarious. This is very funny to me.
Yeah. It was just really...
I kind of liked it. I was like, this is great to me.
Yeah, I felt like no one was in the mood for it, though.
That's fair.
In that theater, because people were probably just like, oh, it's so small.
Yeah.
In this theater, we're so close to everyone. I just felt like
I
could feel like this cynical, like cringeworthy vibe of people just being like, "Oh wow."
Yeah,
that's just
I get
me.
it. Yeah,
because they're trying to like get like be enthusiastic with the audience, and no one was really in the mood for it. Like everyone just kind of wanted to see the movie and like mind their own business.
That's fair. Apparently, we were in the theater with a friend of Zeke's also.
Oh, really?
Because Zeke saw that on his friend. I think his name is Mike. Yeah, on his friend Mike's Snapchat story, he saw that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's kind of neat.
So, anyways, the presumed wife of this guy, the one with the lightsaber.
Yeah, she is a worrywart. She's worrying about this film. She's worrying about why it's so late.
Yeah, she's very aware. She knew something was up, like, right away. And she was, like, looking back at everyone, being like, it's, you know, like, saying, hey, it's like, wasn't it supposed to be at 10:40? And now it's, like, 10:50.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just kind of like, I don't know, we'll probably be starting up soon. And the screen is just blank. There's no, like, ads for anything on it or any music in the theater at all. It's just silent, empty.
Yeah.
So,
and while her husband is dueling, a duel of the fates, if you will. It's a John Williams joke.
Yeah.
She gets up. Sorry,
that's
the wife gets up.
That's the one that goes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I showed it to Alex last night. I was like, this is arguably the best piece of like Star Wars score, other than the Imperial March and I don't know. What is it? Binary Suns?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she gets up and leaves while her husband is not giving a fuck about anything and just talking about his Rey theories. And so she gets up, leaves, comes back with a worker like, I don't know, 5 minutes later?
Yeah. Soon after.
Yeah. To announce what, Collin?
The screening had been canceled.
That's basically how she said it, too. It's pretty funny.
Screwed. We were screwed.
Yeah, like she, tears in her eyes.
I didn't see tears.
She was teary. She was like kind of choking up.
She was very upset.
Yeah, she was. But she was like, "We're screwed." And like at that point, I was like, "All right, I get that we're not going to be able to watch this, but like, you don't have to be a dickhead to this AMC Theaters employee." This employee didn't corrupt the file on purpose. Like that ended up being the issue. Like a file corrupted or something, and you got a kick out of that. How weird it is to watch movies now. They just have like a file on hand.
Yeah.
It's not like film.
Double click.
Yeah.
It's probably like some like illegal torrent.
Yeah. But an insider with AMC Theaters that we're friends with told us that, like, Disney sends them the copies of The Last Jedi, but it's locked because they're very secure with their films, I guess. So it's locked until a certain point, and then our friend said that when Disney allows it, it's unlocked and you can open the file, which makes it hard to get backups of the file if a file corrupts, if it doesn't work or something. So
because
that's
kind of
no one knows if it's going to work or not. It's locked until a certain time
and
date,
you can't
then it's too late.
And you can't test run anything either because
Yeah.
you just have to wait. I mean, give or take, who knows when it unlocks, like 30 minutes, 10 minutes before screening, who knows?
I don't know.
But it wasn't their fault.
No, it's not their fault. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the employee's fault. It's probably AMC's fault with their system. Disney's fault. Whoever's fault. Doesn't really matter. That's why this episode was brought to you by AMC Theaters. We're not... AMC Theaters, Tallahassee's great. They're great most of the time. What are you laughing at, Collin? What the fuck are you laughing at? You're off screen laughing right now.
Just Drew's silly text messages.
Oh god, what a guy! I wish he was in town. He can fucking do his voiceovers for Rooney. Anyway,
so the audience, you would expect like booing or something. Everyone was kind of like, well, like fuck, like this sucks. No one was like, it's not like there was some guy in the back like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, no.
You know, like there was nothing like that going on.
There were a couple like gasps and sighs,
some
but
confusion.
like for the most part, they were pretty okay about it. They were, which is good.
From what I could tell, there was like no one yelling or arguing, or getting that upset like violently.
Yeah. So
they just offer everyone to get a refund. They're passing out free movie tickets. David and Lindsay, they got fucking 9 of them.
Yeah, just walking around and asking.
So they're set for like the next 4 movies they decide to see with each other.
Yeah, and then 1 movie alone.
Yeah.
They have to rock, paper, scissors over that one.
Yeah, they're like, all right, fine, see you in a few hours.
Yeah.
So then, Jacob, how did you feel? You were not pleased.
I was disappointed, but my thought was, all right, I have to take action because I am going to see The Last Jedi tonight. I have gotten hyped up about it too much to go and see it another time. I would have had no other opportunity to see it that weekend. So yeah, I was like, all right, well, we're going to see it tonight at some point.
I wouldn't have either. I could have seen it Saturday, but I picked up someone's shift to work, and even then, like, it would have been a bitch, like, finding seats anyways.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's a few screenings that aren't sold out. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I just feel really indifferent. A part of me is just kind of like, okay, I guess we're just not gonna see it today. I guess I'll just go home and sleep.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, by then it's like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then Snyder is just like we're getting tickets, because I didn't buy the tickets. Jacob did. So I didn't feel like enticed to being like, okay, like I gotta go find another screening. Jacob was just like on it. And I was thinking about the podcast, and I was like, yeah, we need to fucking see this movie. If we don't, it's just gonna become like stressful.
Yeah, and in hindsight, glad we saw it.
Yeah,
glad we got it out of the way. So we picked a 1 a.m. showing. We could have done a 1:30 with better seats in IMAX 3D.
Thank God we didn't.
We did not do that. We did 1 a.m. showing. There were like 2 seats next to each other available. Copped them. They were in the back right corner.
They were fine.
Didn't give a fuck. Yeah, it was fine.
I was fine with those seats.
Yep, looked great. That's the good thing about Dolby too. We bought it in Dolby Digital. There's really not a bad seat in that theater. It's a big enough screen to where it's like anywhere you look, you can watch the film. It's pretty cohesive. You know, like you can see it, understand the film. You can appreciate the visuals.
You get to sit. Great. You get to sit through that stupid presentation about how great Dolby Cinemas is.
Oh my god, like, doesn't that it just draws it's so long, doesn't it?
Yeah, the projector is still on.
It's so self-indulgent.
Here's what black used to be, and then the bar swipes by and it's just like the contrast being like brightened up, and it's like it doesn't look that much better. Like, this is just a bullshit video.
Yeah, and also it's just a video like that you edited. It's not like an actual comparison.
Yeah, it's not like half of the screen is like shitty.
Yeah, no. It's all the screen. You're just, I don't know. It's very self-indulgent. That's how I would describe it.
Well, before we sat down in the theater, we had to wait in line to get refunds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that took fucking forever.
Probably an hour.
Like there was like hundreds of people like waiting in line, long ass lines throughout the mall, and people were just like chit chatting about like, oh man, fuck
Oh
this.
man, let me tell this part of the story too. Okay, so we get up to the front of the line to get the refund for the tickets, the 1040 showing tickets, and I get up and for whatever reason they can't refund our tickets, like they can't refund me, and I'm like, all right, like what do we do? And they're like, well, did you like have you bought another showing, like for another showing tonight or any other time yet? And I was like, yeah, I bought some for 1 a.m. And they're like, all right, have you printed them out? I'm like, yeah. So they're like, all right, give those to us. So I handed them to them. They were like, all right, we just comped you those. So you still have to pay for the 1040 showing, which I'd already paid for, so I didn't really care. They were like, but we're refunding you the Dolby Digital showing. So basically we paid for like
a
the
movie
shitty
didn't see.
yeah, like but we paid for a movie that we didn't see, but we ended up making we paid less to see more.
Well, that's
essentially
good. Well,
a lot
good.
later.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I was pleased with that. I was like, all right, whatever, cool. I'm glad that I bought those tickets because otherwise I wouldn't have received my refund after waiting an hour in line. So it all worked out.
Well, so now we're sitting there. Well, hold on. Before that, we had to draw. I drove everyone there.
Yeah.
And David and Lindsay, they're like, no, we can't stay out this late.
Well, they were working at like 8 o'clock the next day, so I kind of understood that.
Yeah, no, I did too. Absolutely. So
I
we
mean,
had
like,
to drive them home.
Yeah, we are both insane, so we were willing to actually stay up and watch the movie this late. You know what I mean? Like, we were both like, fuck it, we have nothing better to do, so why not?
So we had to drive them back with like an hour to spare. So time was of the essence, but they didn't live too far.
We got back with plenty of time. We actually sat in my car for a bit just before we went in.
And then jump later in time.
Yes.
The theater, like, they start running like ads before the previews, and like there's no audio.
Oh my god, yeah, and we were both like, "Oh fuck me! Like this is gonna be this is gonna be the worst.
This night is just a disaster. Fuck this movie theater. Fuck the Last Jedi. Fuck the refunds."
Yep.
And then the audio cuts in, and then like one of the ads in, and the whole theater just goes dark for a second because like the sound bars have like these red lights on them. And, like, those went out, too. So, like, me and Jacob were just kind of like, Jesus, did they just lose fucking power?
Yeah, we both thought that. I don't think we ever said, did they lose power? But we were both thinking that.
We were both thinking it. We sat there in silence, and it was like 3 seconds of darkness. I think the whole audience was thinking, like, oh, Jesus, what now? But it was just, like, the actual, like, not the movie, but, like, the preview starting. Like,
yeah.
So we were just like, oh.
Yeah, Dolby. It was time for Dolby to suck its own dick for a second. You're watching Dolby Cinema. It's the greatest thing in the history of the world.
There's like a wave crashing by. Wow, moving sound.
Yeah.
A guy blowing fire. Wow, vibrant.
Like a pretty day, a hillside on a pretty day with a tree.
There's like some like black sun or something like a
a solar flare or no, like a solar eclipse. Yeah, like in totality, it's really weird.
Yeah, and then we sat there, watched the movie, and then we got out the screening at 4:00.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, so the movie begins, and as does our review of the movie officially, I guess.
All right.
Is that what you want to talk about now?
Yeah. Before that, I was just gonna say it was quite an experience just getting to see The Last Jedi.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And
trial and tribulations, obstacles that we had to hop over.
For sure. There were obstacles.
We had to hurdle over people.
We did.
We had to punch some fucking geeks in the face to get the fuck out of our way.
Yeah, we did. We had to like lightsaber a man to death.
Popped a few Kylo Ren cosplays.
Yeah, we did. Collin just absolutely bear hugged a Wookiee.
Split style, like James McAvoy.
Yeah.
In front of the concession stand, I had to squeeze the fucking life out of him. I got sodomized with a lightsaber. In the bathroom.
Yes.
In the stall. I got sodomized by a person cosplaying as Constable Zuvio.
Oh my god.
And then,
Yeah, it was intense.
I sat there with a burning anus.
Oh man.
With a burn of 1,000 suns. And this begins our spoiler-free review.
Indeed it does. Alright, well, do we want to get water or anything beforehand?
I'm a little empty. Are we going to take a break real quick?
Yeah, we can take a break real quick.
Alright. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay tuned.
Alright, we're back, guys. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
You hear this? Those are my notes.
I actually have no notes for this film.
I have quite a good bit. I hope you don't see what my official score, my first viewing score was. Don't spoil it.
I won't.
Alright. So, The Last Jedi, written and directed by Rian Johnson.
Don't you like that?
I don't think my plot summary is a spoiler, but for the spoiler-free review portion, alright, so The Last Jedi picks up right up after The Force Awakens. The rebels are on the brink of being wiped out by the New Order? The First
Order, yeah.
Yeah, the First Order. The Empire. Finn, Poe, and Leia try to survive with little to no resources. Rey convinces a reluctant Luke to train her in using the Force in hopes to bring balance to the galaxy and end Kylo Ren's growing reign.
Yes.
That's essentially what the film is about.
Pretty much,
without just being like, and then this happened, then this and that and that and this and that.
Yep, that's a pretty good overall, I would say. Spoiler free, what did you think of this movie, Collin?
I thought it was good, not great. I would not call this a great film, but I thought it was just good. As far as like the pros and cons I wrote down, there are a lot more cons and things that I can like nitpick and dissect. Things that I have issues with, but it doesn't ruin the movie for me.
Yeah.
Because the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
But I don't like hate this movie, but I'm not like ecstatic, like buzzing about it and being like, oh my god, I can't wait till episode 9. I'm like, I can't wait. Which is kind of how it was for The Force Awakens. When that movie ended, it strategically ended that way to get you excited.
Yeah.
For episode 8.
It did, yeah.
And for this one, I'm kind of just like, oh, okay, like I'm good. But
yeah, I would, okay. I liked it a little bit more than you did. I would still say it's good, not great. There are great things in it.
Yes.
As a whole, though, the movie is just good. Maybe even really good, but not great.
You liked it.
I did like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, for sure. Maybe even love it somewhat.
Ooh.
But whether or not it's as a film, judging it subjectively as a film, it's good. Really good. So, yeah, I think that I like that it is written and directed by one person. It feels like it. Feels cohesive in its tone. It tells a pretty cohesive story, I feel like. With the exception of one subplot that I feel like could have been completely removed from the movie. But other than that, we'll get into that in spoilers and stuff like that. All the actors did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, all the acting's great.
Yeah, Mark Hamill is probably at his best here.
He feels really natural. He doesn't feel like he's like, all right, time to be Luke. I have to go into like this like, what's it called? When they don't break character?
Method acting.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like he's just being himself.
Pretty much, but it also feels like he's being Luke Skywalker. He feels like Luke Skywalker to me.
Yeah, but he doesn't come off as like chewing scenery or like trying too hard or just like feeling like a bit strange. I know a lot of people have that issue with Carrie Fisher in The Force Awakens. Her acting was a bit like peculiar. Like maybe she was nervous and like just didn't like, fuck, I have to be Leia again? Like, Jesus, I don't know what to do. Like, look at me.
But she's great in this.
Yeah.
I thought she was awesome in this. She's, in my opinion, she didn't steal the show, but she's a consistent performance that's really good from start to end. She's awesome. Great. Finn, Poe, Rey, they're all good. Oh, that's their real names. Their real names,
Yeah,
right? In
not
reality.
John Boyega and
No,
Daisy Ridley and Oscar Isaac.
no.
John, John Williams' score is better in this movie?
Yeah, it's a lot better than The Force Awakens. I felt like I noticed it a lot more.
Yeah, it had a much bigger presence.
Yeah, it did. There were better callbacks to the originals in this movie, score-wise, than in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, The Force Awakens, I remember the score being, I mean, like, it's fine, but it didn't have that, like, presence, like I said.
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
Like, it was just kind of, like, there.
Yeah.
They do use Rey's theme, which now, like, because when you were first watching The Force Awakens, you were like, oh, it's, like, new music? And now, like, you've heard it before, so it's kind of like, oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's Rey's theme, everyone.
Yeah,
it feels...
I like that they're introducing this and familiarizing audiences with it. It's nice.
Yeah, familiarizing audiences with the new stuff that they incorporated with The Force Awakens. Because before then, it was just kind of like, oh, new.
Yes.
Other
than that, those are kind of the only things I would really get into spoiler free.
Yeah, it is a bit difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie only had the highest opening weekend of the year, so chances are, hopefully, most people who are listening have already seen this.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's worth seeing for sure.
Yeah, even if you hate it, like, it's still like, this is a theater movie. This is why you go out and see movies on the big screen with, nice sound and everything.
Yeah, overall, while I agree with you in terms of this movie not exactly setting you up for episode 9, like giving you a place to look for where you know what's going to happen in it, I would say that this movie excites me for Star Wars as a whole, as a whole thing more than episode 7 did, because episode 7 felt there was nothing new in that movie. Everything was the same.
It was just like a reintroduction.
It's a retro movie.
It was more like a jumping off point. Like, they had to make their Star Wars movie, and they did.
Yeah. I think that The Force Awakens does exactly what it needs to do. It's a retro movie in that it relies on your knowledge of the previous films, and nostalgic moments and fan service to get you back into things. And it sets you up for a movie like this, where there's almost no fan service in this movie. And
very minimal, if really any.
Yeah, and the fan service in this movie served the plot and was actually organic, whereas there was fan service in like Rogue One and The Force Awakens, where it's like, do we really need that? But whatever. So I think that The Force Awakens serves its purpose, getting you back into the universe. It's a rehash, yes. This is not a rehash of anything. This is formulaic. This is not formulaic at all.
No.
And yeah, that's pretty much all we'll say. I think we'll leave it at that. Go see the movie. I would rate it an 8 out of 10. What would you give it?
I've really thought about it. I've only seen this movie once.
Me too.
But, alright, bear with me, people. I think I enjoyed The Force Awakens a bit more than The Last Jedi. And I will get into that when we start dissecting things.
Yeah.
And maybe this will change. Who knows? This is just after seeing it one time. But I'll get into that more.
Yeah, and I enjoyed The Last Jedi a bit more than I enjoyed The Force Awakens.
Interesting. I'm glad we can have this.
Yes, we can have a little bit of a dialogue here.
I mean, I still liked The Last Jedi, but after a first view, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It was good.
Fair enough, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
If I was to rate it the same as Force Awakens, like, that just wouldn't be true. And maybe if I watch it again, it'll change. Maybe 20 years from now, it's like the new Empire, and it's like in everyone's top 10 of all the greatest films of all time. Like, who knows?
Maybe.
But just after my after my first viewing, like 15 years later, Last Jedi's reevaluated. Yeah, it's like the best movie ever. Its social commentary was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
All right, so spoilers.
Yep, spoiler warning now. All right, spoiler warning. We're going to spoil some things. All right, so spoilers. Spoilers now. Do not listen if you haven't seen the movie, or if you haven't seen the movie and you just don't care, stick around. Alrighty, Where do we get off? Where do we start off?
All right, I'm gonna put on my Infinity Glove.
Okay.
Or Infinity Gauntlet.
Yep.
I'm gonna lay it down. All right, so The Force Awakens.
Yep.
It introduced you to new characters, left you with things to speculate. In this movie, The Last Jedi, it kind of like, it felt like Disney. You know, they had The Force Awakens premiere, and they were like, okay. And they're like, all right, so this, and this. People weren't really responding to that all too well, so I think it's okay if we can just cut those ties with this movie. And by that, I mean Snoke.
I would say that yes, he was pointless. He was pointless. My analysis of this film, I share it with a couple others. I've read a couple essays about what other people mean.
Is it that meta thing?
It's meta. Wait, what?
That,
meta
like,
thing?
Yeah, like The Last Jedi. It's like not subliminally, but it's like talking to the audience, like straight up.
There are things in it where I think it does that. I don't think it's talking to it's not a message to audiences. It's as a whole, it's a movie about the idea of disappointment, and it's about your heroes not being who you expect them to be, really. Never meet your heroes type thing. Luke, in the previous trilogy, it's the hero's journey, all of that. His arc ends in Return of the Jedi. This is a different Luke, for all intents and purposes. It's a different person, because he's evolved. People change, you know? And I read a comment yesterday how this movie and these new trilogy movies make the events of the Return of the Jedi pointless, because it just goes back and
it makes Return of the Jedi pointless.
Yeah, because they win the war and, like, you know, everything's happy in the end.
Yeah,
and this movie is such a fucking weird phenomenon for me. It's weird because it's saying not everything lasts, and, like, you know, it's a movie about disappointment, in that, like, Luke Skywalker's a disappointing ass guy. He didn't do what you wanted him to do. Like, this movie didn't do what you wanted it to do.
Everyone's disappointed in themselves.
Pretty much, yeah. Like,
Leia's disappointed in Poe. Poe's disappointed in Laura Dern. Finn's disappointed in Benicio del Toro. Yeah. Benicio del Toro's just a disappointment.
Yeah, he is a disappointing character. He's like Lando, but when he doesn't turn.
Yeah.
Doesn't turn back. He just is a bad guy and gets away and dies?
Presumably, we don't really know what happens to him. He has a weird lisp.
Frankly, I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, I don't either. But
any of the Cantabite stuff can totally be removed from this movie. Didn't need to be in there. I get that they needed... See, these are my flaws with the actual movie. The First Order chasing the Resistance, basically, like, for the longest period of time ever. Like, they can track them at a light speed. That's introduced. They have to go and get their light speed tracker out. They don't end up doing that because Laura Dern's just like, I'm going to fly the ship through them.
Yeah,
how about that?
But she's not telling that to anyone.
Yeah, she's not. That wasn't the plan, I don't think. I think she wasn't. I kind of get that. That's a complaint that people have. They're like, why didn't Laura Dern tell Poe what's going on? You don't have to tell your really low-ranking officers like Poe Dameron your plan. You don't have to tell them. You're the general. Like, you don't need to tell them this. They don't need to be questioning you. They can, you know, go fuck themselves. Like, know your place. Poe Dameron doesn't know his place.
I didn't really care for Poe in this movie.
Me neither. He's kind of an idiot.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, oh, I want to go out there and fly and we'll blow shit up. We'll lose like 100 of our men, but we'll blow up one ship.
Yeah, we could take down a dreadnought. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, but see, like,
wait, take down what?
Dreadnought.
That big ass ship?
Yeah.
That huge, like, freight ship?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's probably not even that big of a priority, Poe.
Yeah, and Leia's like, stop it, and then he flips off his radio. He's an idiot. But, I mean, he's still so charismatic that you kind of pull for him. I mean, you're like, yeah, I like him. I like you as a guy, but, like, you're an idiot. And this movie doesn't shy away from the fact that he is an idiot. He's in over his head. He doesn't know what's going on. His idea, or his head isn't with the mission necessarily.
He's a head ass.
Yes, he's very head ass. He's a hothead. He's a hot shot. He's a flyboy. Did you like Laura Dern in this movie?
Laura Dern is just a great actress.
Yeah, she is.
She's
great.
Cool. She's great in everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, her character, okay, she was fine.
Vice Admiral Holdo?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, very Star Warsy.
Okay, I'm just gonna run through my written down cons before we just merge everything into one.
Yep.
So Snoke, I was invested in Snoke. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? Why is he so fucked up looking? Why is he so goddamn powerful? Why did he corrupt Kylo Ren? Did he get him to kill his father for him? How old is he? Is he even human? Well, I guess he is human because he dies. But I don't know, some sort of revelation, oh, okay, who is this? Everyone was buzzing about him, and then he just gets killed, and he was just kind of annoying in the movie in hindsight because he's so naive. He's just sitting there in a gold robe, and he's I'm so fucking powerful, and he's picking up Rey, and he's just forcing her, and she's screaming. It's kind of
it's kind of weird.
You kind of just have to use your imagination.
I don't hate that Snoke is dead, because in the end, Snoke for me was the weakest part of The Force Awakens, because he's just not that interesting. We've seen that character before. He's the Emperor.
He didn't have to be that character though. That's the thing. You could have done something with that character.
Yeah, but J.J. Abrams presented him as...
Hunter was telling me the same thing. He's oh, just another generic bad guy, and it's no, he didn't have to be. That's the thing.
I mean, but the Emperor is a generic bad guy. He is in Return of the Jedi. Everybody loves the Emperor. The Emperor has no backstory in Return of the Jedi. You don't explain anything. He dies, and then for 15 years we know nothing about him. And then in the prequels, we decide to give his backstory, and that's now what we have for him. But beforehand, we had seen a hologram of him before he showed up in Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. One movie prior, we see one hologram, a couple mentions of him, and then he dies in the next movie after doing exactly this.
Yeah, and that rubs me the wrong way.
I don't know.
Me personally, I was kind of wow, just dropping that character before he even gets a fucking chance to do anything?
Yeah. I would say that...
I don't know. I don't get it. Captain Phasma, that's my next point.
Yeah.
Her being pointless doesn't really bother me because we already knew that she was basically pointless.
Yeah. I think that
Rian Johnson, I think they gave him he had power and he was able to kill off a few characters, so he did. So maybe he's all right, let's just get Phasma out of the picture.
Yeah. So, I will... I'd say that I just don't really... I like that they killed Snoke. I like it because Kylo Ren is now him killing his master does more for his character as a whole than leaving Snoke alive does for Snoke. Because whatever they do with Snoke, it's not going to be that exciting. It's not going to be that mind-blowing. If he's Darth Plagueis, not that mind-blowing. If he's the Emperor reincarnated, that fucking sucks. If he's Darth Vader, it sucks. Everything there's nowhere they could have gone where it would have made anybody really happy. Everybody would have just been oh, well, he's a Sith Lord. Great.
Yeah, so
whatever.
He was just pointless. So I'm sitting and watching a movie and I'm oh, that was pointless.
Yes, but that's a problem with The Force Awakens because it presents a pointless character. It gives you a character to ask questions about. That the questions there's no profound answer to them.
Yeah, it's J.J. Abrams' mystery box approach. That's exactly what it is. And it's fine for I guess a standalone or something, but when it's just kind of okay, so we can do this. It's Snoke, we can all right. X. Phasma, don't really need her. And it's just kind of it just feels pointless to me. It's them trying to correct their mistakes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because sure, maybe Snoke would have been just a generic bad guy, but it's he didn't necessarily have to be
Yeah,
that's the thing. He doesn't have to be generic, and what, it's just going to be like some bullshit of being like, oh, well, there's going to be plenty of comics and an origin novel, maybe an origin movie. And it's just kind of like, I don't care. Like, sure, probably been like exposition-y to be like, oh, he's from blah, 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 and he did this and that. But it's still just like been kind of cool to have known. Because I was generally interested. I thought there was going to be some sort of revelation with some of the characters.
Yeah, and I would agree. I would like to know. Like
that's what I was expecting, some sort of revelation.
Yeah,
and I didn't get that.
I would. That's disappointing. It's disappointing.
I was surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked that they killed him. Like, I mean,
that scene is good.
It is a good scene
because then like they like fight and like it's a good fight scene. So like the scene's good. It's just kind of like.
Why did this happen?
Yeah, it just that didn't quite rub me the right way. Since we don't know anything about him, it doesn't feel like as satisfied. Oh, if he's such a powerful Force user, why couldn't he just sense that Kylo Ren was using the Force to activate that lightsaber?
I mean,
he went out like a little bitch.
He went out like an ignorant person.
Yeah, he was ignorant, but that's the point. He was like a naive, gross guy who's just like, I'm so strong.
But isn't that the point? Like, that's the point of his character. He's supposed to be, he's super strong in the Force, but he's not strong enough to, notice that his apprentice is where he's directing his anger. He's directing it at him, because like, he corrupted him, you know? Like, he's, at the end of the day, like, that Snoke chewing out Kylo Ren part in the beginning, you know, like, he's like, you were supposed to be this, and like, you're supposed to be the new Darth Vader, and you're fucking not. And he's angry, like, it makes Kylo Ren mad. He's upset about that. He's like, I'm gonna kill my master. So he ends up doing it. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of what Luke never could do, really, with the Emperor. Like, it's in a way, it parallels Luke and the Emperor, sort of. Kind of.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, where Han...
It's like poetry.
Yeah, it's like poetry. It rhymes. But, like, you know.
And it's like him, like, some sort of redemption from killing Han. You know, it's like he killed someone on the light side and someone on the dark side.
Yeah, but even then,
he's
not... I would say he's past redemption at this point.
Is he really even, like, that bad of a guy anymore? I mean, yeah, sure, he tried killing Luke, he failed.
He's conflicted, but I think this movie, for me, I don't think if he turns to the light in Episode 9, it would take a lot for me to buy it. Because this movie kind of solidifies him as... He's bad now. He is the Supreme Leader. He is the bad guy of the series. For me, that's kind of what it showed. It was like, this is the villain now. We're not doing a Supreme Leader or anything like the Emperor in the originals. We're going to do our own thing.
I don't think his philosophies are really that, like, negative or menacing. I don't think he wants to rule with an iron fist. He just wants to end everything and, like, start, like, a new, like, order.
Yeah, it's not crazy, but it sees the end of the Jedi. And
which Luke
somewhat agrees with it, but in the end he kind of comes around. And it's, you know, that's why I like the ending of this film a lot. We'll get into that, though. Finn and Rose they clearly have no idea what to do with them in this movie.
I put this all together whenever the movie goes back, because all the stuff with Kylo Ren, Luke, and Rey, that's all the interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it goes back to Poe and Leia and Finn, it's just not as interesting.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not that it's disinteresting, but the other stuff is just way cooler.
Yeah, it's like that's what you want to see. You want to see Luke, and you want to see them talk, and like Kylo Ren doing like weird Force talk stuff with Rey. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then Finn, like, all right, he starts off in the movie, he's like getting out of his chamber, and he's just like dazed and confused, wearing this like wet sack.
Apparently that's a Bacta suit.
And it's just like, how embarrassing. Like, it was not a good introduction for his character. It basically foreshown, just like, yep, you see this? Waddling around, confused.
Pretty much the movie. This is pretty much his arc.
Yeah.
Yep.
It didn't come off as funny. It came off as kind of like unsettling.
Yeah, it's just like, he's he's not well.
I know. I was expecting him to be like, "Where's my mom?"
Oh my god.
And just be like, "Oh Jesus, this."
Rose is a nice character. I don't really like where they took her in this movie. Them going to the casino planet is the worst part of the movie. Everybody's talked about it. It's the worst. They have to find a code breaker. Maz Kanata has a really weird cameo in this movie.
Yeah, she shouldn't even have been in it.
Yeah, that was fan servicey, kinda. I mean, I get it. You want to put Lupita Nyong'o in this movie somewhat. She's great. She's awesome. Maz Kanata was cool in The Force Awakens.
That's a character that you don't really need, like, in any more movies. She had her purpose in The Force Awakens. You don't really need her.
I would
after
agree.
That.
And also, it's implied that she has banged. I don't know who the actor that plays.
I don't know, some like Playboy guy like playing like casino games on Canto Bite.
Yeah.
And Finn's just like awkward.
Yeah. The Canto Bite sequence is weird. The bulls, like the bull creatures that they ride.
Yeah,
that was weak.
Yeah, the last Guardian looking creatures.
Yes.
And they're escaping on them. That was the worst scene in the whole movie.
It was.
I was just sitting there and I was just like, this is so weird, and like why did Rian Johnson like write this?
Yeah, it's weird. It is weird.
A lot of people don't like the planet. Like the planet, like it's okay. I've heard a lot of people say that it's too Earth. It feels too much like Earth.
It does feel like nothing. Okay, I agree with it, but like not the fact that they have casinos. I would just like a more prequel era looking place. Like, cause this just didn't look like anything that we've ever seen in Star Wars before. I think that like, they had sketchier and cooler looking weird retro places in like, I don't know, episode 2. Where like, say what you want about that movie, the set design on it, like the CGI design, not the CGI itself, but the design of the places look pretty cool. Like on like, I don't know, shitty Coruscant. Like shitty parts of, was it Coruscant? Like the giant city planet that they're on?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know my
the part where Obi-Wan basically like almost he tells the guy, "You don't want to sell death sticks."
Oh, it's like a nightclub.
Yeah, like places like that. I think it could have benefited from looking a little bit more like that, like a little darker, a little shittier, a little cooler. I don't know. Something just it looked too high end, and I guess that's the point, but like it just didn't feel I don't know, I didn't like it. Didn't like it a lot. Felt like it could have looked different, and I would have liked it more. It's all about lighting, and there were too many humans there. There weren't enough aliens. It just felt like a regular casino with humans.
It's kind of funny. It's like some like beautiful like woman. She's like, "Here's my date," and it's just some like squid thing. Like,
yeah, it's.
I found BB-8 annoying in this movie.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't really.
Like he was a cool little dude in the first movie, and then in this one, like. I felt like he just like did too many things that were like, oh, BB-8 saved everyone. Like there's that scene where what are they called? Chicken walkers?
ATSTs.
Yeah,
oh, that was dumb. Yeah.
Like
that was really stupid.
That I was not a fan of.
I didn't like that.
Who's shooting at them? Who's helping Finn and Rose? And then it's like, oh, it was BB-8 all along.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like he walks like, or she. BB-8's a she, by the way.
Oh.
It like, and then the top is just torn back to show BB-8. I'm like, that's stupid.
Wait, it was just like blown off by like
pretty much
nearby.
No, like she, the droid, the female droid BB-8, like I don't know, hit the ceiling or whatever, and it peeled it off, and it just shows it's BB-8.
Yeah,
it was silly, and I was like, that's not necessary at all.
And then like, what doesn't BB-8 have a few other scenes where it's like, oh, BB-8 saved. Like everyone, almost like she's like Deus Ex Machina. Or
pretty
something.
Much. The X-wing scene where she's fixing everything.
Oh, at the very beginning.
Yeah.
She's the one who like sets up because she's like fixing everything and like
she has like all of this like the fingers
circuit
and stuff
board,
into it. Yeah, and then she ends up just running into it and it works.
So fucking.
I was like, what?
So BB-8's the real Mary Sue here, not Rey.
Yeah. Other than that, we talked about Poe, Finn. Leia was great. Let's talk about the Leia scene that everyone is.
Yeah, that was weird.
Feels like it would have been cut, but in respect to Carrie Fisher, they didn't cut any of her scenes, so everything was left in. That might kind of pad the runtime too. The runtime's really long. This movie's too long.
Yeah, that's another gripe. This movie's ass-numbingly long.
Yeah. I would say that maybe this scene would have been cut. But either way, I don't hate it because I watched the originals right before I watched this movie, and Luke does promise to teach Leia the Force.
Yeah, and we see her use it in a unique way.
Yeah,
I guess some fans
it
would
makes
be like,
sense.
It's like some fans could be like, oh, well, where's the line of what you can and can't do with the Force? Are they just that good at using the Force, so we don't know what they're capable of? It was just weird. Like, in the first act, you assume she dies, like, right then and there. Like, oh, there goes Leia. That's what they did with Carrie Fisher. They just blew her into space.
Yep, and they killed Admiral Akbar like that.
Yeah, like, no...
You felt pretty mixed about that.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh...
That seemed easy. That seemed like an easy death for Akbar. A couple people are saying cut Laura Dern's character completely and just have Akbar fly lightspeed through the fleet.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
That would have been awesome. But
Yeah,
then again, could you have a fishman do something that emotional? I think you can, but it's hard. It might have provided a little bit of levity too. He's just like, all right, it's a trap.
It would have. This isn't a trap.
That scene was cool though.
This would have proven. It would have proven how brilliant Star Wars can be if it's making you emotional about a fishman that commits suicide.
Mon Calamari.
A fishman that commits suicide by going through light speed through another ship.
That was a cool scene though. I'll admit that.
So like
that was neat.
So like Leia, she like is able to revive herself using the Force and like
I would
flies.
say that she just woke up. She was fortunate enough to wake up or whatever. Like, she didn't really get hit by anything. She just got blown out in space. You can survive in space for a bit. You can't breathe, but she just kind of regained consciousness, I suppose.
Yeah.
Before she lost breath, and she used the Force to pull herself to her spaceship, or the remaining part of the spaceship, which makes sense. You should be able to do that with the Force if you have it.
It's not that bothers me. It just didn't look good. It looked kind of like
silly,
like gross, like a little uncanny. Not uncanny valley, but just kind of like a bit like unsettling, I guess, seeing like her like still body kind of like drifting like back, and I was just like, this is weird.
Fair enough.
Like, that was weird. There's just a lot of weird things like that. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's just weird, bizarre. Like,
it
strange.
is bizarre. I think that's why I think it gets cut in a world where we're fortunate enough to still be with Carrie Fisher. I think that scene gets cut, but due to what happened, they're trying to respect her and all that, and not cut any of her scenes, which is completely admirable. But like, in a world where we're still with her, I don't think that scene is in the movie.
Trying to think of other little things. Let's talk about something good. Let's talk about Luke.
Luke is great.
Yeah,
he's great. A lot of complaints about him, but they did the right thing in making him not old and wise, making him old, wise, but like damaged. He's like a shell of a man.
Yeah,
like
he's a broken Jedi.
Yeah, and like it makes it. I like that. I like that aspect of him, that he's not perfect. This story is new. Not everything worked out, you know? Like, he's not a perfect guy, and I really enjoy that aspect of this film.
There's that scene where he's like, Rey's kind of following him throughout his like daily life on Octo, and there's like this like hideous like fat ugly creature like sitting on a hillside, like sitting right up, and it's just like sitting there. God only knows what this thing does, like what it thinks, what its motives are. It's just like a native, and like Luke like goes down to it, and it has like 4 tits, and he squeezes one, and like this neon gooey milk comes out of it, and then he like looks Rey in the eye and like drinks from it. That's a weird scene that I didn't really mind.
I actually kind of love it.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is this movie? That's another weird Yeah, like
That's
you said, it's just weird, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's like
because
a good scene. Yeah.
Because it makes sense. It's like he drinks it, It's like,
Yeah.
okay, he's got to drink something on here.
Yeah, not the salt water, I imagine.
Did you think
See is-
Luke was gonna, like, pull up his X-Wing from under the water?
And fly somewhere?
Yeah.
I kind of
Is
did,
that what
but
you
then
were-
again, his door to his hut is the X-Wing door.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's like part of the X-Wing or something. But,
Hey, Luke can just use the Force.
yeah, I guess he
He
can.
can do anything.
Yeah, but,
There's no rules to this movie. I'm just kidding. So yeah, Rey.
Rey is good in this movie. She's good. I like her. I like her arc. I think that they marketed it very well. Where is she going to turn to the dark side? Is she not? By marketing it like that, they're kind of telling you she's not. But she doesn't. She doesn't go to the dark side. She's certainly tempted.
She doesn't really even like contemplate it that much. She's just
No.
kind of like, no.
See, okay,
Don't really wanna.
Nah, the darkness in her is driven by the fact that she feels like her parentage defines her in a certain way.
Yeah, she has
And
some
that's-
like weird guilt complex about like not having like a family.
Well, I think that she sees herself. All right, this is the scene with the black hole, like the hole in the cave.
The
So-
bottomless pit.
Yes, she goes to the pit, and it's basically the Dagobah cave with different visuals. Very
Yeah,
Lynchy. Do you call it Lynchy?
Sure.
It's not. I don't really think
It's
is.
more like dreamlike and like
Yeah.
she's like standing in front of her reflection. It's like the past, present, and future all at once. She's like snapping.
That was a great. That's a great effect, actually.
Yeah,
they did that. That was pretty cool.
That was actually a nice little touch. It could have just been her like moving her hand, but like
Mhm.
those.
Yeah, it was neat. It was definitely
I'm
neat.
glad I was able to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about as like artsy as Star Wars has ever gotten.
Pretty
is
much.
when like she's meditating with Luke, and she's like, "I see a pit. I see a dark pit," and it's like cutting to it for a brief second. And I was
Mhm.
just like, "This is weird."
Yeah. But
Me-
then again, like,
me considering I like things that are a bit like odd in movies, but in my Star Wars, nope. Just give me rehash.
yep. I just want more of the same, if that's
Yeah.
okay.
Well-
I really like that scene though.
And
But like, it kind of shows who her parents are. Not really. It doesn't show. She's asking who she is. Like,
I was fucking scared during that when it showed like the silhouette pop up. I was like, "What am I about to see?"
yeah. Were you really?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh God, here it is."
When it turned into one, I was like, oh my god, they're about to say that she was conceived from the Force or some shit. Like, it's about to be crazy.
I didn't know what to think, but they don't show you anything.
They do not. They show you Rey in the same way that Luke sees himself in Darth Vader. That's a parallel.
Rey just sees Rey.
Yeah, she's just herself. See, it's trying to say that, like, Rey, the metaphor here is that Rey was going there looking for who she really is based on her parents, but who she really is based on her. That's the idea. She's who she really is. She makes her, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You define
yeah.
yourself. It's
Yeah.
not, nobody else defines you for you. It's
It-
not like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't really know like what other way to you can really like interpret that scene.
No, it's other than just being weird.
Kylo Ren, he's conflicted.
He's conflicted. He's pretty great in this movie.
Yeah, he is. Adam Driver
Yeah,
does a great job.
he does.
He's a big-breasted man too.
Boy, he is. He has some pecs.
Yeah, they look like boobs almost.
He makes it look good though. He makes it look good, even in those pants, basically all the way up to his belly button.
Do you think his pants had to look like that? They didn't want to show too much of like his like lower to mid section, so they were like, "Oh, just like."
I think they
Pull it
just
up.
did it because he probably looks ridiculous.
I just don't think they wanted to show that much nudity in Star Wars. Is that why people were like joking, like, "Oh, there's more nudity than I expected"? Have we ever seen a shirtless man in Star Wars?
We think, yeah, we've seen shirtless Anakin.
No. Well, and yeah, I guess there is Slave Leia.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah, shirtless Anakin, with the exception of his robot hand.
But yeah, Kylo Ren's good in this. Does more of the same stuff. He's conflicted. He's having like walkie-talkie communications with Rey using the Force.
Yeah, let's talk about the Force in this movie. There are a couple developments with it. It does some things we didn't know it could do beforehand. I mean, if you were familiar with the canon, I guess, or the Legends canon, whatever it is, I don't know anymore. You can do that with the Force. You can like have a connection with someone like that. But the main thing is Luke's Force ability, which is projecting himself.
Like an astral projection, like Doctor Strange or some shit.
Yeah, like not projecting his image or being somewhere where he is physically not.
Mm-hmm.
So, toward the end of the film, in the 7th act of this film, they end up on the salt planet of Crate, which is an old rebellion. It's an old rebellion base,
which just happened to be over there.
Yeah, just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that's what I
just over there.
Yeah, I was like, there's a rebellion planet right there. They're like, oh, well, we should go to it. And so they go. They end up escaping to get there, and whatever. Finn and Rose crash into the base, very Ex Machina-ish, like Deus Ex Machina. It's just like they just appear. They just fly into it for no apparent reason.
Finn and
Rose. You remember because Leia is staring down the ship.
Yeah,
she's like,
I remember
close
that.
the bay
she's
doors.
Like standing there with like her big ass collar.
Yeah, and she's like, close the bay doors. As they see this TIE fighter heading toward them, and they're like, all right. And like, so the TIE fighter barely makes it in, like they were trying to trap him or something for no reason. Like they were trying to like surprise the TIE fighter, but it turns out it's Finn and Rose and BB-8. And you're like, why was this entire thing? Why did that happen?
I don't remember that little.
It's a weird moment
of the movie.
When you rewatch it, you'll see it. It's like, why did they need to do that?
Oh, so like it's like Leia's standing there. She's like, oh no, who are these people?
No, it's like it's like the rebellion was setting a trap for them.
Oh,
like Leia's standing there like bait, and they're like, all right, close the bay doors. And so they close them, and then they barely make it in, and it's Finn and Rose, so there's no threat. But it's like, if there was a threat, why would you do that? Unless you needed Finn and Rose in the bunker with you, which they did for the plot, but it was like, why did they do it? It made no sense. That was a dumb thing that happened.
When we get to the salt planet, it's like, oh yeah, from the trailer. We're like, god damn, this movie's long. We haven't even made it to the salt planet yet with the red dirt. That's what I thought, like when it like cut there, and I was like, oh, we still have to do this place.
Yeah.
And I was like, this movie's getting long. I was expecting the movie to like end like abruptly with like Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker like standing off. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. God, I don't know how that would have been. It would have been like annoying, but it would have got you excited for the next exciting episode of Star Wars. Probably just pissed everyone off.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, well, let's back up. So they get to Crate, but whatever. We'll back up. You made a prediction.
Yeah.
And now a prediction that I shot down and I said that would not happen. You predicted Force Ghost Yoda would show up in this movie, and I said there's no way that happens. But I applaud your balls to predict that. It fucking happened in this film, and I could not believe it. I looked to you in utter disbelief, and you were just smiling at me with a shit-eating grin, and it was awesome. Yeah, and I was glad that you were right, because it was awesome. They used Puppet Yoda, which is apparently a perfect mold from the puppet from Empire Strikes Back. Which makes me question, why did they not just use that for Phantom Menace? Why did they not use Puppet Yoda for Phantom Menace?
Because George Lucas wanted to experiment with CGI.
No, in the original cut of Phantom Menace, they use a puppet that looks horrible.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They do, but not in Attack of the Clones or...
Yeah, they abandoned it. And then he corrected it in the special edition prequels.
Yeah, I don't know.
CGI Yoda.
I think Yoda is CGI the very first time you see his face in Force Awakens. And then I think it's
You mean Last Jedi?
Last Jedi, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And then for the close-ups, that's when you're like, yeah, that's the goddamn puppet.
Yeah, and it looks great. He moves
Yeah.
funny, but like so did old Yoda,
Yeah.
so it didn't really matter.
And he's pretty in character. He burns down the temple. He's like, you don't need this.
Yeah,
You don't need this bullshit.
that was the only part where I didn't really buy Mark Hamill either. He's like, but the ancient Jedi texts. And Yoda's like, have you read them? Page turners, they were not. And that's a very Yoda thing to say. That's great. That's great.
Luke Skywalker goes back to being like, I want power converters for like a minute.
Yeah, a little bit. I like that he addresses him as Master Skywalker.
And the music was really nice.
It was.
And like when that scene ended, like the music was really nice, and you're like, oh, what a nice scene.
It was a nice scene. It's just a sweet moment. Like it's a great moment.
That's
That's why I feel like there are great parts in this good movie.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
great scenes when you're like, these are the scenes that like are like the the big moments.
Yeah.
All right, so in the trailer, you know that shot of like the ancient text,
Yeah.
and it's like lit up and like sparkly and like all the like roots or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
hypnotic.
Yeah.
When I saw that in the movie, I had no fucking clue what I was looking at.
Huh.
I was like, are we like inside of a tree? Is this like a room inside
I think
of
it
a
is
tree?
inside a tree. Yeah.
But like then, like after rewatching not the movie but seeing that image again, I was like, oh, it was just a shot. It was just a close up of some books this whole time. Like my
Yeah.
brain could not register like what it was looking at.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that funny?
That is kind of funny.
Like in the movie, I thought it was like some sort of like, or in the trailer, I thought it was some like raised platform. And like I was expecting like Rey, I'm doing like a diagram with my hands. I was expecting Rey to like step in front of it,
Yeah.
but it's just a close up of some fucking books.
Hey, you know what?
It's
That's
crazy
okay.
how your like brain can like play tricks on you.
It is crazy.
And it's not shot in a very convincing like manner. Just be like, yep, a shot of books. Rey saves the books too. They are in the Millennium Falcon. Or
Are you sure that
Yes.
those are the books?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Are you really?
Finn's like opening up a compartment to grab like a Mountain Dew or some shit, and next to it is like the ancient textbooks, and I was like, oh, so they're saved. Look it up.
I don't know. Let me look.
Look
I
it
don't
up.
think
I'm telling you,
I think those are just different texts.
Nah.
Did Rey save the texts?
All right, so Luke, Rey, Kylo Ren, all that stuff did good for me. But the Finn, Poe, Leia, I liked Rose. I liked the actress. She was fun to watch, but just what they did with the character,
Yeah, I wasn't really interested.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't interested in any of their plot lines. Laura Dern and Benicio del Toro, they're good in the movie. I think Benicio del Toro probably gives the worst performance in the whole movie.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like,
Yeah.
I smell like whiskey. Oh, and apparently there's like alcoholism in the galaxy.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, Benicio del Toro's character is just kind of throwaway, like, fine, whatever. Just kind of feel indifferent towards it. The Knights of Ren are pretty much disregarded. I don't think they're...
Yeah, they are.
I don't think they're going to continue that in episode 9. It's probably going to be like some like comic book or novel.
Probably. I think they've already mentioned it. I like that there's this idea that Kylo Ren has like a team of lightsaber wielding like Sith prodigies basically, but like it's kind of interesting.
We see them in Rey's flashback, but at this point, I don't think they're... I think it's part of their thing. When The Force Awakens released, they're like, okay, Snoke, we can fuck him into a ditch.
Yep.
Phasma, she was pointless in this movie. Fuck you, JJ. And Lawrence Kasdan, you're horrible characters. And then the Knights of Ren, they're like, it's like a boy band. That's what someone said, and they're like, okay, we'll just get rid of it too. The Knights of Ren, like, it sounds like a cool idea.
It does. I like the... They mentioned them in this movie.
Yeah, but they never say his Knights of Ren.
It would have been forced to say that.
Or the Knights of Ren, or anything
There was
like
never
that.
a way to organically say it, I don't think. I think that they just didn't mention it by name. It's just not a big deal. They mention it. They mention it in Force Awakens. It's not a huge deal. And they go out of their way to say, and he brought his friends or his friends' students with him. They go out of their way to say that. The Knights of Ren are still canon. They're still going to be. They're going to be a thing.
Yeah, they're canon, but they're not going to. I don't think they're going to have a presence in Episode 9.
I think they will because
JJ's like, we're bringing Snoke, Phasma.
Oh my god.
Maz, we're bringing them all back, baby.
Oh my god.
One thing I found kind of disappointing was like it would have been cool to have seen. I mean, I guess flashbacks just aren't a big thing with the episode 7 and 8, but it's like you still don't really know like what the beef was between Luke and Kylo. Like it's just like, oh, he had darkness in him, still corrupted him. I had to end him.
I don't really need anything else from that. I think that Luke saying that he saw darkness in him it's just the Force. Like the Force as a whole is a way to get around like bad writing, pretty much, because it's just like, oh well, the Force. It's always been used like that. That is just how it works in Star Wars. The Force gets you out of binds, and I think that the Force is used here again because he can read Kylo Ren and knew that he was already corrupted. Fine, I'm okay with it. I don't care.
I guess, like, I don't know. I see your point, but I have to disagree with just using the Force as like, oh, well, the Force. And then just being like, oh, okay, that makes up for no exposition or backstory for anything or detail.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's not I wasn't unsatisfied with that explanation from Luke. I think that the point of it was Luke couldn't even kill his own father, and he was seriously contemplating murdering his own nephew, and like was about to do it, but he was just so blinded by his own like fear that
his hubris.
I would say it's his own fear. He wasn't proud. I don't think he was having a proud moment. Hubris is pride.
Pride, yeah.
Yeah. It's not really pride. It's more like he was blinded by the fact that he just wanted like to make another Skywalker, that he didn't really care about not corrupting him. He just wanted to make him powerful as fuck. And like maybe that is pride, but I think that it was his fear of losing it all, and like he gripped too tight, and he thought that he could just end that problem, nip it right in the bud, kill his nephew with his green lightsaber. We kind of do see the green lightsaber, but not with present day Luke, which by the looks of his reaction when he's handed Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, I would imagine that he got rid of that green lightsaber. He probably tossed that shit to the side.
I've heard some people say maybe it's in the X-wing. That's parked in the ocean. Did you like that scene where it's like Luke Skywalker, he gets his lightsaber and he just kind of tosses it?
I felt like that was a message in that this is not going to go the way you think. This isn't like not. I feel like that was Rian Johnson's way of going, whatever you thought Luke Skywalker was going to do, he's not going to do it in this movie. He's not really the same character you remember. He's not going to be like, I remember where this was. He's just kind of done with this shit. He's like, fuck this. Like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I mean, he's not amazed by the fact that that's his lightsaber. That's the lightsaber he lost his hand with on Bespin. I like that he's just like, fuck no. Like, not anymore. Like, I'm tired of this.
I would have preferred, because like I couldn't tell if when he throws it, I was like, is that supposed to be funny? Is that like a laugh moment? Like I just couldn't tell. Like he just kind of tosses it. He doesn't throw it. He's like lofty about it.
Yeah.
He barely puts even like any strength into tossing it. He just like kind of like idly tosses it.
Well, he has no strength left, Collin.
I don't know. I was like, is this like a Marvel funny moment? I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. It's not. I don't know. I
It's
didn't
just-
hate that moment.
It's
I
just
was
a,
just like,
it's just
LOL.
a nitpick. It was just kind of like, oh, really? Like, I don't know. I would have been fine if he's just like, oh, how did you get this? It's found its way back to me. Something corny like that. You know, like I would have been fine with it.
I don't know. I'm glad they didn't do something like that, because once again, it's just about expectation, and this movie kind of knows that whatever it does won't satisfy you, like, alone. But I think that it being unexpected in that way is it lends a little bit of legitimacy to it for me, just because it's so, like, it subverts your expectations.
Yeah.
It takes what you wanted to have happen and doesn't really do it. Like, and I kind of enjoy that. I like that I couldn't predict it. Like, you predicting that, if that would have happened, I don't really think it would have been a satisfying thing. I mean, it's not satisfying him throwing it over his shoulder, but it's not really meant to be. He's reacting probably as Luke Skywalker would have reacted at this moment. A broken-ass guy. Like, asking him to not react that way would be asking them not to make Luke Skywalker the way they made him in this movie. Because, yeah, it makes sense for how he would react. He's just kind of funny. He's sort of lost his shit a little bit.
Yeah.
He's sort of just a crazy old hermit. He's like Yoda. He's a lot like Yoda. In that he's just insane. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of insane in a little bit.
I wanted him to be more flatulent. And, like, being like, you know, like, making, like, Beans the musical fruit references.
My God.
Alright, I didn't share this on the last podcast, because I deemed it too stupid.
Yes.
When you were like, is Luke gonna bust out the green saber? It's not.
You can explain this. I'm not explaining this for you.
I think it's hilarious.
Of course you do.
I think it's comedy gold.
Yep.
Like, Luke, he's like, here's my lightsaber. And he's like, he, like, can't get it to, like, you know, he hands it to fucking Rey, and she can't, like, get it on. She's, like, kind of, like, smacking the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, whoa, let me see it. And he bends over, and, like, we just hear a fart sound effect. A sound effect, too.
Yes,
like, a bad one. And the camera's on Rey the whole time, and when the fart is ignited, you see, like, a green light blare on her face, and you hear the and, like, her hair kind of blows back in the wind, and her eyes are, like, kind of wide. And then Luke goes, oh, good thing I ate all those beans. Is there anything else you want to talk about with The Force Awakens? I liked the movie.
God, can you call it what it is now?
The Last Jedi, sorry. Like,
God, you senile old fucking man.
I liked the movie. Felt like some of it was filler. I wasn't too thrilled about, like, you know, not getting any, like, more investment in things that I thought were going to be bigger parts from The Force Awakens. And I think, it's subverting your expectations doesn't disregard my issues with the movie. It's just like, oh, well, it didn't do what you thought it did, so, well, there you go. And it's just kind of like, yeah, but it just feels like they're picking and choosing what they want to continue. And it makes you wonder if they really even have, like, a huge, like, arc. I don't think this movie should have been written solely by Rian Johnson. I'm surprised that they even let that happen. There's fucking 3 screenwriters with The Force Awakens. And that one has, like, a pretty simple story. And then for this one, they just give it to him.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm just not left, like, ecstatic from it. I feel satisfied with Star Wars right now. We'll see what they do in Episode 9.
Yeah. I think that, I don't know, I like that it does something new. I like that I didn't expect what was going in. Like, what I didn't get what I expected. You know what I mean? And I like that. I like that it's not predictable. I like that almost nothing that I predicted would happen did.
One of my predictions came true. So.
Yeah, I still can't really believe it.
That's probably my favorite scene in the movie, just because it feels like, it like feels like sweet. It's a sweet little moment.
Yeah. Speaking of sweet moment, did you like Luke's death?
Yeah, I felt like it was tasteful. It was
I
better.
liked
It was
it.
better than him like getting killed, and like
Yeah.
he transcended beyond reality, the way of the Jedi.
Yeah, pretty much. And I like that. I don't know. I liked him fading
Yeah.
away on the sunset, looking at the sun as the sun's setting. One setting, one rising.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was nice with the binary suns playing. That was nice. I didn't
Mhm.
have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Better to have that done tastefully than like be like, oh, he lives throughout episode 9.
Yeah. I like that. I don't know. It was a nice little. It's nice visual storytelling in that. One his sun is setting, the other sun is rising. A new generation is happening, and that's fine.
Yeah. Would have been dope if they ended the movie on that, but instead, all right. Here's another
yeah.
issue.
This is just completely unnecessary to me.
The final scene is not very good. It's like it goes back to Canto Bite, and it's like the abused children who are like these Last Guardian wranglers. Last Guardian's a video game, and the creature, the Last Guardian, looks a lot like the kangaroo
Yeah.
looking things. And some alien dude is just like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." And it's like a kid that Rose gave like a Rebel Alliance ring to. And I
Yeah.
heard some in some videos people were discussing like, why didn't they just like help save the kids? And it's just kind of like, I guess they could have. That would have been annoying. You really want to see the kids like with Finn and Finn and Rose and Poe, similar names. Basically, one of the little kids, like he's like this little 8-year-old boy, 7. I don't know. He's young as shit. He uses the Force to grab a broom, and he like looks into the sky and he like sees like a ship going to light speed, and it's like, oh, a new generation of Force users.
Yeah.
And
It was dumb. Didn't need to happen.
It felt prequel-y.
Yeah.
Whenever there's little children in Star Wars, it just doesn't work.
It doesn't. I don't like that was added in. It should have ended on Leia and Rey and all of them on the Millennium Falcon, disembarking for their next adventure, in my opinion. It had the perfect place to end it, and then it just chose to keep it going for a minute longer. I was like, why? Why are we doing this?
I would have been satisfied if you have that scene, like, kind of like before, like, Luke passing away. I think that would have just been, like, perfect note. Like, you have their scene of them being like, okay, like, we're on the rest, and presumably Luke is kind of, like, resting before he, like, passes. I think that would have been fucking cool.
Yeah.
Passes away, his cloak floats, you linger on for a few more seconds, and then, bam, like... Or would that have not worked with the music?
Bam to Cantabite?
No. Oh, fuck. Well, no, you just delete that scene.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant, I thought you were talking about, like, a way to incorporate it. My bad.
Like, you have Binary Suns transition into the ending credits theme.
Yeah, it's too hard to end it right there. Plus, I don't really think that that's a satisfying conclusion. You need to see where the new characters are going. So, like,
Fair.
close out the old, tease the new.
Yeah.
It's nice. I would have just rather them ended on the Millennium Falcon and have it be, them looking at the galaxy or something nice. Them looking toward the stars, going to light speed.
Looking forward to their bright futures and sequels ahead of them.
Yes. Their new products.
They're like out with the old and with the new.
Yep.
They got rid of that's them. They're done. Han, Leia, and Luke.
Yep, they're done. Leia
Yeah.
does not die in this movie, which I like.
No, she doesn't.
I like they just made the movie as if she didn't die. I mean, other than for the fact that they didn't cut anything.
You know what?
Mm.
In episode 9, just don't even bring up Leia.
Frankly, you don't have to, and that's why I think for episode 9 they're going to do a massive time jump.
Yeah, like, do we really need an obligatory, Leia passed away? It's like, the audience knows Carrie Fisher's dead. Like, just don't even bring her up.
Yeah,
That's it. No more Leia.
I agree. Well, my final thoughts, I guess, on this movie are that it's a good movie with great moments. I already mentioned that, but it's way too fucking long. There's a lot of unnecessary shit in it. I do agree with you in that a movie's not good just because it's not what you expected it to be, but I don't also think it's bad because it's not what we expected it to be. I think that it's just, I enjoy the fact that I didn't predict this fucking movie all the way through, and that it surprised me. Some were good surprises, some weren't. For the most part, though, I liked it, and I have more positives to talk about than I do negatives. And that is my final thought. I give it an 8 out of 10.
I have my overall thoughts written.
Please illustrate them.
A decent Star Wars story that delivers on Luke Skywalker's appearance in a new feature film. But the film sometimes fails to deliver any intrigue on future plot lines for any of the characters set up in The Force Awakens, like Snoke, Rey. Sometimes the movie just feels like filler at times, and didn't really leave me wanting any more. It just felt kind of like done. It felt done.
That's fair, but
know?
I would say that no Star Wars movie really ends on a cliffhanger, like per se, like The Force Awakens does. That's the first of its kind, truly.
It didn't need to end on a cliffhanger, but just like it felt done. It felt like the movie ended. It felt like, with the little boy looking up and like the new Force user, like that feels like the end.
Well, I like that. See, you see that as a negative. I see that somewhat as a positive, because like it's its own thing. Like it tells a complete story. And will there be a sequel? Yeah, there will be, but it doesn't really. It's not setting you up for it. It's not setting you up for a sequel. It's going, we made a movie, and this is the movie. We tell a complete story, and we don't leave anything really left to be told, even though there is more to be told. But we're not gonna marvel on this thing.
I've just been brainwashed by all these production companies and cinematic universes. I'm like, what? What's this?
There was
what's
no
the
setup for a new new movie?
I guess I just kind of like expected it to have that,
Yeah, I mean, all of the previous ones are like this in that they all tell their stories. Like, A New Hope ends. You could end it right there. Empire Strikes Back ends. Han is in carbonite?
Yeah.
But also,
there's a lot of stuff left hanging in the balance.
Yeah, there are, but also there is in this movie as well, because it leaves the fact that there's only like 15 resistance left. Like, there's really not a whole lot of resistance people left.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
It was. And, like, nobody came. Like, that's interesting. I like that because it's like, this isn't what you would expect. Because you expect a flood of ships to come in and fight everybody off,
Mm-hmm.
A big battle in the end. But in the end,
that would have been
no one comes.
That would have been kind of corny. Would you have liked it if Finn had died?
I would have, yeah. I
been...
thought he was going to die. I think that the conclusion that they went with for Rose and Finn, that was just shitty. Like, it took away from it for me.
Because it was almost great. I was watching it and I was like, oh, if he like does this kamikaze attack, I'm like, oh, it's like Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of glad they didn't do it that way, because then I'd be like, oh, it's like Independence Day.
Yeah,
because that is very similar to Independence Day.
You're right.
Where like a fighter flies into like the burning focal point and it causes everyone to explode and like saves the day.
Yeah,
and then like Rose saves him, but then it's like, oh, she died. And then it's like, oh wait, she's not dead. I thought she died. She kisses Finn. Apparently, the ladies love Finn.
I guess it was.
Can you?
That was corny.
Imagine if
her saying that to Finn was corny.
I just thought of this. Imagine if John Boyega was in Get Out. Would it have been
like
as good?
If he was Chris?
Yeah, if he was Chris in Get Out. I wonder how that movie would have turned out.
That's a good question. I don't know.
It's like the guy from Star Wars. Mm. Like it's just like so like drastically different. Yeah, there's lots of little things you can talk about in this movie. I just thought it was good. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I kind of liked The Force Awakens more just for what that movie, like, represents. Yeah. In a sense of, like, just, like, reigniting and, like, it got you interested. It did a good job at that. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Will I see it in theaters again? No. I I would not like to see this in theaters again. I will wait for the Blu-ray and watch it at my house with the convenience of a pause button.
And then we will come back later and you will give your second review of this movie
Yeah, and
where
I'll
you
be like, "It's one of the
inevitably
best."
love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you absolutely benefit from repeat viewings in time.
Yeah, in time, after
Yes.
like a while, I'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it was amazing. Best film of the year." Any more Star Wars things you'd like us to talk about?
Nah, it pretty much does it.
Oh, we didn't talk about the porgs. Did you mind the porgs?
I didn't mind them at all. I thought they were cool.
Yeah, I didn't either. I'm not one of those people where they see like things that are obviously supposed to be like
For kids?
yeah, but they're not like insultingly dumb.
No.
You know, so like okay, I enjoyed it. It's funny when Chewie's like eating one and the porgs are like staring at him and Chewie's just like, oh fuck. That's basically the joke. Chewie's doing something, a porg's nearby staring at him, and Chewie's like, oh fuck. Also, I find it hilarious when Chewie's just like talking. Not like doing one of his growls, but just speaking.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
That is kind of funny.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Chewie definitely did not ever need Han Solo. Cause boy, that dude can fucking pilot the Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah.
He can fly the shit out of it. He's a killer pilot.
Oh yeah.
We learned that in this movie.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we need to go to Salt Planet.
I got you.
Bombs fucking away.
Yep.
Also, I've been pondering this. Star Wars just takes place in like one galaxy.
Yep.
So it's not like Star Trek.
Where they go to different galaxies?
Yeah.
Did they go to different galaxies in Star Trek?
I think so. That's what the Starfleet is about. It's about like traveling where no man has gone before. You know, that thing that Spock always says.
Yeah, yeah.
But in this movie, it's just one galaxy. Like, what happens if, like, oh god, this would piss people off. Like, Luke and Kylo Ren are standing off, and then just, like, some massive alien ship that looks nothing like Star Wars comes in. They're like, what's that? It's like an alien invasion, like, B-movie. Like, they have no clue what it is. Like, that's what I was thinking of, because it's like, it's just in a galaxy.
Well, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's the galaxy far, far away is the place of the story. There's a lot of like you're on the outer rim, like
Yeah.
Snoke is from the unknown regions, or like the unknown regions of the galaxy, somewhere far out. That's his origin.
Yeah, but there's like multiple, infinite galaxies.
Yeah, there are, but like the idea is that in this one, this is what's happening right now. Or
Interesting.
a long time ago, this happened in this one.
Huh.
I like it. I don't know.
It's like the future, but the past. It's like Cowboys, but like in space.
Yeah.
It's like Muppets, but like not quite puppets. Some of them are puppets, some of them are people in suits.
Yes. Well, those are my thoughts on the Force or on the Last Jedi. Also, I like the score. The score is better in this one. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, I think it had much more of a presence.
We like the score. Okay, cool. I'm done. Are you?
Yes, that's The Last Jedi. Go see it.
In theaters. Specifically AMC theaters.
Anything else you want to talk about? Anything
Nope.
non-Star Wars related?
Honestly, I'm okay. I'm tired. This was a long episode.
Yeah.
It feels like. What time are we looking at?
We're about 2 hours in. 2 hours, 5
Sweet.
minutes.
Sweet. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and do our plugs. We'll just leave this as a review. Actually, the Disney 20th Century Fox deal closed.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah, awesome.
Just fucking great.
Awesome. Where can we find you, Collin?
You can add me on Facebook, I guess, if you want to be.
Because you're not on Twitter anymore, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah, you can add me on Facebook at Collin Goody.
Wow, nice.
I deleted my Twitter.
You'll probably bring it back at some point.
Perhaps one day, Snyder. Perhaps one day.
You should have just given me control of your Twitter. I would have taken good care of it.
It's permanently deactivated for 30 days.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just for 30 days?
Yeah, nothing I can do about it. So
Oh,
I can always bring it back, but just So yeah, you can add me on, what's my Snapchat? If you want to add me on Snapchat, that's a plug.
Yeah, it is. You can add me at Jacob_Snyder on Snapchat. Also, you can add me on Twitter at JacobsWetsuit. You can add me on Instagram at JacobsWetsuit. You can add me on Facebook at Jacob Snyder. You can email the show at fppcreative@gmail.com. You can get in touch with us however you want on any of those platforms whatsoever. We will answer your question. We'll read your mail if you want. We will talk about...
We'll tie your shoes?
Yeah, we'll talk about whatever you want us to talk about. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I think we don't have to talk about Star Wars again after this episode.
Yeah, for real.
Fuck. You can add me on Snapchat at all, one word, no spaces, all lowercase, Collin K. Goody. Collin with 2 L's and Goody ending in a E, no I. So you can send me dick pics. I'm calling our generation the dick pic generation.
I love it. I love it, and I'm on board with it.
All right.
Cute, regal. I love it. Alrighty, well, thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Hashtag Goo for Violence.
Hashtag Goo for Violence.
See you later, guys.
Adios.